Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs, and today I have these stunning thanks cards to share with you guys, so let's jump right in. So I don't own a stencil that has a whole bunch of different circle sizes on it, so I'm going to make my own. So this is a leftover piece of cardstock that I used when I made a base for, I think it was a slimline card, and I'm just going to cut random sized circles out of it. This is just my nested circle die set. You can see it has quite a few, and I just went through and picked a couple of different sizes for fun. It doesn't really matter what you choose. That's the 5 that I chose to go with. And then I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine and just cut those circles. And then I'm going to save the circles and show you how I use them later because I thought it was super cute. But there is no rhyme or reason here. You could use squares, you could use rectangles, you could use stars, you could use hearts. I use circles because I really like circles, but you could use any shape for this and it would still look great. Then I'm going to cut down my cardstock. I know, shocking, I did not add a black mat to this card. I am going to cut off 1/4 inch so that I have a nice thicker border all the way around because, like I said, I'm not adding the black mat. So this just kind of gives me a thicker border than my normal thin guy. And I just thought it was a fun, different look. There's no, again, you can change it up. You want to add a black border, go for it. You want to add a colored border, go for it. You can do whatever you want to do. This is just to give you some inspiration as to what I was thinking. So I brought out my favoriteest Tim Holtz floral stamp. This is the French Garden. And this is probably my favorite floral. This and the floral trims. You guys have seen me use them so many times. And I'm going to stamp it on the card fronts. So I have 5 card fronts. I'm making 5 cards as you saw in the opening image. And I'm going to stamp it once or twice, whatever I need to get a nice dark impression. Now, I'm going to use oxides for this because I can, because oxides are my favorite. If you have the distress inks instead, even like that would probably be slightly better, only in as much as the oxides are opaque and the inks are translucent. So that's going to give you just a slightly, well, it's not going to hide your dark stamp as much, if that makes sense. You can still see it. You're going to see here in a minute when we start doing the ink blending, they still turn out beautiful, but you do have to go back and stamp them. So don't remove the floral from your Misti or whatever stamping platform you happen to have. I have the Misti. Don't remove it from there so that we can go back and stamp them again to give us that nice, rich black floral. Otherwise, it does get muted when we use the oxides. You can still see it. It still looks beautiful, but it's just a darker, well, not really darker. It's a more muted look, and I don't want that. You guys know I love vibrant. I love, I'm drawn to that. So that is my aim pretty much in everything that I make. So just keep that in mind as you're working. So if you have the the inks, this would actually be a little bit less covered here because it is a translucent ink. But I'm going to go in with my favorite palette. You guys know I use this palette all the time. It is my rainbow palette. It's picked raspberry, carved pumpkin, squeezed lemonade, twisted citron, broken china, and wilted violet. And I'm just going to use those 6 colors throughout the cards. Each one's going to get 3 circles because, again, you guys know uneven numbers is my jam. So I'm just going to randomly choose a circle and blend a color. And we are going to use every color on each section, but I'm trying to use 2 colors per section. So depending, or ultimately 3, like the first circle, because it's quite large, I used 3 colors in it. This one's a lot smaller, so I only used green and blue. But be 100% sure that your black ink is dry before you start this step, because if it's not, you will have smeared that black ink everywhere. So I actually walked away from these. I stamped them. I walked away. I made a pot of tea. Like I was gone for a good 20 minutes. You don't probably need that long. But just be sure they are dry because you will smear the black ink everywhere, which isn't a big deal. Then I would just flip the cardstock over, restamp the flower because it's still in your Misti in the same space, like this exact same area, and then go from there. You can heat set your black ink as well if you don't have the time to wait, which I know sometimes people don't want to. Oh, sorry, I just smacked the microphone. You could do that instead. So just keep that in mind. There is no wrong here. We can fix most any mistake. I say mistake, but it's not really a mistake. We can fix pretty much anything you do, right? Like there's a fix. So just be sure your black ink is completely dry before you do this. Now I'm going to pretty much use the same circle for the green and blue every time and then alternate my other colors. I don't know why I did that. It seemed like a fun idea. And if you aren't really drawn to rainbow colors, you could go in and do monochromatic. You could pick all your blues or all your purples and do it that way, and that would be really fun too. Or alternatively, you could do your circles all one color per card front. So say this one was all yellow and then the next one was all orange and the next one was all pink, and you just move them around in different areas. That could look really neat too. So pull out a cool floral, make yourself some kind of stencil with some kind of shape, circle, rectangle, square, like I said, and try this and see what you think. If you don't love it, that's okay. Cut it into tags and add it on a different project. You know, like there are so many things we can do to fix a project if you don't love it, you know, so just keep that in mind. This is just to make you happy, to bring joy to your day. That is what creating is supposed to do. Now I am choosing to use my blending brushes for this. It gives me a little more control and it's less likely to catch on the edge. It also is smaller. So that one circle is quite small. And so my blending foams, the whole blending foam is bigger than that circle. So I was worried that I'd have a really hard time getting the color where I wanted it, but also I would struggle to not have the color going into other circles because the blending tools are quite a bit larger in area. So that's why I chose to use my blending brushes. But again, use what you have and make it work. I'm going to show you how to fix if you get ink going off of the edge, because I do. There's a few areas where I wasn't paying enough attention and I do actually ink blend outside of my circle on the card front, but it's not a difficult thing to fix. And there's a couple of ways you could fix it. You could also just leave it. It's not, unless you've done a whole bunch of ink blending off of the panel, in which case, I don't know, just do it on all the panels and make it look intentional. But if you're concerned, I will show you how I fixed it, because there are fixes. So just keep, I keep saying keep that in mind, but actually keep that in mind. And the circles, I actually saved them and set them aside, and then I ink blended the colors on them randomly. I just chose the same 6 colors and I turned them into bubbles. You're going to see them here in a minute when we go to a different clip. I didn't show you that because it's literally the same thing. Like here, you just blend your whichever color and then you add some white lines. Like that's pretty much all I did. And you are going to see them here in a moment. They'll show up in the bottom right corner once we kind of move past all the ink blending. But this is just such a fun idea. And I think this is a really great way to mass make a bunch of cards too, because you just stamp them all, then you ink blend them all, then you adhere them all. Like it's just quite easy to do. So I do think it would be a fun way to create a whole bunch of different cards. So I'm going to stamp, this is where I'm showing you. So right now you can see that the area that has been ink blended over is, I want to say foggy, but that's not the right word. It's just not vibrant anymore. So because we left the flower in the Misti, we can go back and re-stamp it. Now again, because we're stamping black ink on top of Oxide, let it dry. It takes a little bit longer to dry on top of the Oxide than it does just the paper. So just keep that in mind because you can smear it otherwise. But you stamp it again, and then that just gives you that nice vibrant flower. And here I'll hold 2 up so you can see the difference between the 2, and that kind of gives you an idea of why we're stamping it again. Not that it's bad. So if you removed your flower and you don't want to risk double stamping, perfectly fine, leave them alone. However, this just gives you that option to bring in that nice vibrant dark black again so that it kind of gives you that specific look. But I mean, it's not bad with the muted flower either. So completely up to you and your preference. I just really like the vibrance. So that's what I went for. And then I brought in a thank you stamp. This is from Simon Says Stamp. You guys know I love their sentiment stamps. They are by far my favorite. So I just grabbed a stamp that says thanks for everything, just because I think that's a really fitting sentiment. And because there's never, it's not a bad idea to have thank you cards on hand at any time. So that's kind of what I tend to reach for. So I stamped that. I just lined it up where I wanted it, and I'm going to stamp it on every card, regardless of whether it goes over top of a circle of color or not, because on some it does, and on others it's in complete white space. But I think that I'm going to say randomness of the circles is just really fun. And it's pretty difficult to make a mistake with it because you're just choosing colors you enjoy and blending them on top of a beautiful flower. Like this is a pretty straightforward card design, but I think that it really gives you a lot of punch in its simplicity. So I think you guys should give it a go if you haven't. And if you do, let me see what you make. That's probably one of the most fun things about being a creator, is that I get to see what you guys make. So share that with me. I'm on all the social medias, whatever you happen to be on. You can email it to me if you're not on the social medias, whatever. I'm Ciara T Designs everywhere. So you can come and share this stuff with me or email it to me. My email address is listed in the description, so you can send it to me and I can check it out, like whatever. But I love seeing the inspiration you guys create from something I've made. So it's just really fun. I did splatter on some perfect pearls because I love perfect pearls, but you could skip the step of splatter if that wasn't for you. And then here, so I actually had 2 areas on my cards that had quite a bit of ink blending. I tried to go over it with my white gel pen first, but the white gel pen likes to pick up ink and change the color of it, so it's no longer white. So I went in with just a little bit of white gouache, which I happen to have on hand because you guys know I've been painting. So, but you could use any white, you could use white acrylic. It really doesn't matter as long as it's an opaque paint. It really doesn't matter. So you're going to gently paint that over top of whatever area you ink blended on, and then it's pretty much gone. The only way you'd be able to see it is if you knew what you were looking for and you knew which card to look on. Like right now, tell me which card has the ink smear on it. You'd have to leave it in a comment, but you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty difficult to pick up. I know what it is. I can see it a little bit, but it's incredibly difficult to see. So hopefully that kind of helps you if you're having any issues that direction. Just take in a little bit of paint, and there's nothing wrong with going in and just fixing up an area. You can love it the way it is if you're completely happy with it, but don't scrap something just because you had a little bit of ink go outside of where you were hoping it was going to be. We can fix it. Most things we can fix. But there are those bubbles I was telling you guys about. Like I said, I blended all the colors on them randomly. There's no rhyme or reason. And then I just added some white highlights with my white gel pen to create the bubble effect. And those are going to go in the inside of the cards. You will see at the end when I show you the completely finished design. But here is that slightly larger border, like I said, because I cut this down to the same size as I would cut it down even if I had a black mat. And then I just have a slightly larger border. So it kind of just gives me a little bit of a different look as I adhere my cards. And then the only dark that's drawing your eye is that flower and sentiment. So I think that that's just a really fun way to catch the eye and not have it match the black of the mat that would always be there as well. So kind of just a different look, but you could add the black mat and that would be okay too. So completely up to you. And then that's pretty much the whole card design. I am going to go in with these are off-white. They're a cream pearl. And I love pearls. If you guys haven't figured that out yet, you haven't watched much of my content. But pearls are by far my favorite embellishment. I like embellishments in general, but pearls there's something about them that they make me think that I've elevated the card in an elegant way, if that makes sense. Because I don't know, pearls are they're so pretty. So I added 5 pearls across the card front that just gave it a little bit of something extra. Again, you could skip that step if you don't have embellishments, or you could add little gems if that's what you have on hand. Sequins would work too. Doesn't matter. Whatever you happen to have, use that. And that's pretty much the whole card design. So these were pretty quick to put together and a lot of fun. And I used a lot of old materials. So grab your stash and create something beautiful with it, because I know you can. And then share it with me so I can see it too. But I'm going to hold them up so you guys can see them in all of their glory. I love how these cards came together. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you leave me a like, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I do have Christmas in July coming. It's a little baffling how quickly the year is going past, but July is creeping forward, so we're getting really close to Christmas in July, which is a pretty fun series. And I want to say a quick thank you to my members. You guys are phenomenal. I cannot express how much I appreciate your support. You make me able to do this by supporting my dreams, and I just appreciate you so much. So thank you to you all. And that is everything I have for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you made it all the way to the end, leave me, if there's a bubble emoji, leave me that, because that would be really cool. If there isn't, leave me something bubble related, like soap or something. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye bye for now.